Welcome to Bar Talk. I am your host, Brandon T. And before we get into it, like, subscribe, comment. Everywhere you see me, like, like, subscribe, and comment. All right, and keeping the theme rolling. This is what's this part 3 of dating over 35. And what I mean by 35, like I said in the 4 episode, I'm not just talking about 35, 35, 45, 55, 60, all the way through. These these items are applicable and so forth. And we're gonna focus on the women, the women, the issues that women bring to dating. And like I said, and at the end, I will also bring the good things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not just gonna beat down the women on the issues they bring. They also bring a lot of good things to dating over 35. And with that being said, let's go. All right, got a list of items, and there's no particular order as I'm saying them, but we're gonna go over it. First thing on the list is that a woman will bring hurt from past relationships. Yes. So, like I said, you have women that go through a lot of turmoil and trauma in past relationships, and maybe, like I said, say the person may be abusive or cheated on her a lot, and so forth. She will then, in turn, take that, those things from that guy, even though the next guy could be doing none of it all, but if anything looks familiar to her, she will, in turn, take that and put it on the next guy and so forth. So it's hard to get, a what you call a fresh start for a new guy. And so those are one of the negative things that she would bring is like, that baggage, toting that baggage. She put it in her purse, and tote it, around everywhere and hold it tight and so forth. And so gotta watch out for that heavy baggage. Next thing, toxic behavior and acting like a child. Yes. So, like I said, there's some women out here that think that, they deserve a lot. And I'm not saying they don't. Everybody deserves to be in a point in time where they are, in turn, well received and well taken care of in their relationship. But then, like I said, then you get to the point where, that where sometimes you gotta pull back, not necessarily pull back on the attention and so forth, but in turn, I make adult decisions. It ain't always, expensive trips, expensive dinners, gifts and so forth. Sometimes, you gotta do some adulting. And then some women in turn have a trouble with will say, hey, hold up, baby. I got you. I got this other stuff I gotta work on and so forth. Hey, maybe tonight, we like, hey, let's save some money and cook at home or whatever. Some women have a trouble with that. And then we'll act like a quote unquote princess and that they gotta have their way regardless of anything and so forth. And so, something like I said, when then dealing with that and that, childlike behavior of somebody owes her something and so forth, that can too be a contentious point. And trying to date a woman like that, especially, over the 35, because, 35 that looks one way, 45 it could be, I'm so used to this, and if you can't give me what I'm used to and so forth. And then, or you get the ones where I was never treated right before, and I demand to know my worth. I know my worth. I'm a demand that you do X, Y, Z for me, regardless of anything. I know you didn't do the past stuff, but you need to make up for it, and so forth. We get that. All right, next thing. Let's see, controlling and being one-sided. Sometimes, like I said, some women can put boundaries and control on you and so forth, and box you into a whole box of things that they are okay with or not okay with. Put you in that box, and then want you to operate from that box with no compromise or no thought of, you know what, I am in a relationship with somebody else, and they do have, you know what I'm saying, they do have ideas and dreams and aspirations and wants and needs, but I don't care about what that is. If they don't fit in what I'm giving them, then they can leave and so forth. So, like I said, being controlling one sided could be a problem and so forth. Next thing, manipulating. Like I said, you get that point where some women are very manipulative, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, especially on the fact that they use guilt to guilt you into doing something you may not want to do. And then within that manipulation and that guilt and trying to use the guy where the point where, you know what I'm saying, they be like, well, I am too good to go to certain restaurants. Knowing good and well, you know what I'm saying, these restaurants they demand to be taken to is not something they normally do for themselves and so forth. And the stuff they say they don't do for themselves, that they would do for themselves, too good for me. Too good. And so forth. So you get that type of manipulation where they get you to, you know what I'm saying, manipulate you into a point of control. See, it looks back at control to control what you do, how you do it, or how you even feel about, you know what I'm saying, yourself, or even trying to manipulate you against helping other people. So say that if you have friends and so forth, and you know what I'm saying, and I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, yeah, this is one of those things where the conversation needs to be about. But if you got friends and so forth, if she manipulates you out of, you know what I'm saying, interacting with your friends and so forth by, you know what I'm saying, guilting you and so forth, that could be a problem. That type of manipulation of, you know what I'm saying, instead of having a conversation like, okay, here's my friends, hey, I'll let you meet them and so forth, da da da, instead of, you know what I'm saying, trying to manipulate you to isolate yourself and so forth. Next thing. Oh, feeling like the new person is supposed to correct all the wrongs that they ever had done to them. Yes, this goes back to we're saying the toxic behavior and so forth. That feels like, you know what I'm saying, she could have the point where, you know what I'm saying, she felt like she wasn't given enough love and you need to make up for it. She could feel like, you know what I'm saying, you have a guy, you know what I'm saying, didn't spend enough money or take enough trips or so forth, and then she wants you to overcorrect for that. Which I'm not saying that's, you know what I'm saying, wanting to have better and do better and see better and experience better. Not talking about on that perspective, but when it gets to the point where it's like, you know what I'm saying, all the bad things that she didn't get a chance to have and so forth, and it get thrown at you for you have to majorly overcorrect for that, which in none of that it should be weighed upon you. You know what I'm saying? Then that's when it becomes a problem. And so, like I said, it's always good to have good experiences. It's always good to, you know what I'm saying, as they say, level up, you know what I'm saying, date somebody that's at another level so you have different experiences. But when it turns to where you, in turn, are beating the person down because you have didn't get what you needed from past relationships and you want them to make it up, that could be a problem. All right, let's see. The next thing we got here is some people are very rigid. Yep, some women are rigid. You know what I'm saying? They don't. You know what I'm saying? They routine is that. You know what I'm saying? They do these 4 or 5 things and they won't deviate from it. You know what I'm saying? No compromise and so forth. It's just gonna hit those things, and then that if you ain't with it, you can get out of here or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, the very rigid people could be a problem and so forth. All right, the ones next is daddy issues that are made worse by past dudes. Now, some women have daddy issues, you know what I'm saying, and so forth, and that's one of the things where, you know what I'm saying, they came. And so they can say that daddy didn't do enough, didn't show them enough love, didn't show them enough attention, didn't tell them that they were pretty enough and so forth. And then as they go on to their, you know what I'm saying, into their relationships, you know what I'm saying, they can feel like, well, this last guy, you know what I'm saying, didn't show me enough attention, didn't tell me I'm pretty enough, and so forth. And then to that in turn, in the older age come, and that's but could explode into the point where, you know what I'm saying, you are the wrongest person ever for not telling them how they're supposed to do, or they demand that you in turn give them a certain level of attention, certain level of compliments and so forth. They don't let anything organic happen. It's always demanded and so forth. So Gotta watch out for them daddy issues and compounding factors. All right, next thing is, let's see, is a super independent to the point where they can't ask for help. Now understand there's a lot of women out here, you know what I'm saying, got to get their own needs met. And for, you know what I'm saying, it ain't just like, you know what I'm saying, a physical need, just also needs of, you know what I'm saying, getting things done. Let's say maybe they own a house and so forth, cars and so forth. They're getting everything then done and so forth, and making, you know what I'm saying, rounding off bills, paying Peter to, robbing Peter to pay Paul, so forth. This, you know what I'm saying, this pretty much, you know what I'm saying, running their own life. And to the point where, you know what I'm saying, they are so rigid in that they, you know what I'm saying, they feel like they can't ask for help. And so for when help is generally needed. And then, you know what I'm saying, they down here about to drown, and then as they about to drown in a relationship, then they could harbor resentment to the person, like, well, why do you know I know that I needed help? You should have seen. Didn't you see that look on my face that day when you saw, but you know what I'm saying, the stress in my forehead and so forth. And like I said, you know what I'm saying, not saying they need help or saying it in a timely manner where you can actually help. Because sometimes, you know what I'm saying, some people hold it to the end and they're like, well, you know, I got this bill as this, you know what I'm saying, due tomorrow. And you like, why you ain't saying nothing like a week ago? You already knew it was happening a week ago. You should have said that and I could have, you know what I'm saying, budgeted in and so forth. But like I said, the super independent, not willing to ask for help, that could be a problem and so forth. All right, next thing. Let's see. Disrespectful and have emotional issues. Now, some women are disrespectful. Don't care, you know, so they get in a relationship like, oh, I'm grown, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what's one of the terms, you know what I'm saying? My choice, my body, and so forth. I wear what I want to wear, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, you in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, but you still want to show almost every piece of skin and barely wear clothes. So for that in turn can cause issues with the respecting of your man and so forth and the values that y'all have. And like I said, and then also maybe the way you learn to talk to a man could be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Some women, you know what I'm saying, don't realize that, you know what I'm saying, that the man they're talking to, you know what I'm saying, it needs to be a certain level of respect given when, especially when conflict is about. That's when you get a lot of disrespect in conflict and so forth. Which in some women, you know what I'm saying, fly off the handle and so forth, and then be very disrespectful instead of being calm and then having a gradual conversation. But I know like some women like I not seem like I'm being heard, you know what I'm saying? And then they in turn have to ratchet it up and so forth, which in and a lot of times you are being heard, and you know what I'm saying? But it's to take a moment to process and so forth. Everybody trying to get their thoughts out and going for that deep jugular hit as you're going through it is never a good thing. All right, next thing. Not allowing him space. Some women want to be right up under you. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, which in, you know what I'm saying, it's always cute at the beginning, you know what I'm saying? She always wanna be right there with you. You know what I'm saying? You over here, she does, and so forth. And that's cool in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it comes to a little bit of overbearing when I just wanna go over here and hang out for a minute. Nah, you can't go. I need you right here with me. You know what I'm saying? You can't go out and hang out. I can't go over here. You can't go to the bar. You can't do anything. You got if I ain't there, then you ain't there. You know what I'm saying? Then that in turn, that level of possession becomes a problem. All right, next thing. Let's see. Da 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 da. Uh, won't listen. Some women, you know what I'm saying, can't tell them nothing. Nope. Especially as they crank the age down, like, man, I know more than you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying, you like, hey, the advice I give you on this such and such matter is this, and then, or, you know what I'm saying, you're like, oh, you need to go do X, Y, Z, and they never do it. And so forth. Then it becomes a big problem, and like, wow. Then this next thing you know, it's like, man, I should have listened, and so forth. So at a certain level, you know what I'm saying, as a woman being super independent, getting her own needs met, you know what I'm saying, in turn, maybe give her issues with being able to take instruction and so forth. Especially, like I said, especially when they've been super independent and halfway don't trust that you know what you're doing, which in that could be a serious problem. All right, next thing is then we got our money hungry gold diggers out there. And see, some women are only about the money and so forth. And that some of that's you know what I'm saying taught from you know what I'm saying a woman learned that from her aunties and so forth as younger, like, hey, just get the money from the guy and so forth. And then that masterized it to the point where, you know what I'm saying, as you get, you know what I'm saying, up in age, you get, you know what I'm saying, meet men that make, you know what I'm saying, more income. And then within that more income, you know what I'm saying, all you want is the money. You know what I'm saying? So like, for instance, you be in a dating pool and all you want is the guy to buy food. And so you trying to, you know what I'm saying, date a bunch of guys and get them to take you to all types of new experience restaurants that, you know what I'm saying, outside of where you normally would be able to enjoy and so forth, and going for the and then next step, taking the money that way. Or you even just at the point where you're just asking straight up, I need money for this. You should pay for my hair and nails and so forth. You should, you know what I'm saying, you should do all these exorbitant things that she should be doing for herself. And then if it happens, you know what I'm saying, be this nice gesture, not necessarily, you know what I'm saying, what she demands to happen. Yep. All right, next thing. Let's see. Physically, emotionally abusive, and holding grudges and nagging. That's a heavy one there. You know, you get some women that, you know what I'm saying, will hold a grudge, get mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Even physical abuse. You know what I'm saying? Some women, believe it or not, some women are man beaters and so forth. And then, you know what I'm saying, will put their hands on you. And then some women are emotionally abusive. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Give you, you know what I'm saying, talk to you any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Treat you like you're inferior. Especially you get that a lot of times with a lot of women that make more money than the man, can use the fact that they are making more money than the man to belittle the man and so forth. And and then, like I said, a woman's income is greater is a good thing. Unless they turn around and use it as a sword against you, because like I said, they get mad at you, and then you know, what I'm saying, they throw words out there, call you broke or any of those things that you know, what I'm saying, that they're trying to say you're less than and so forth. And then the nagging and the anger. You know, you can have somebody nag you about a situation and so forth that you ain't got nothing about. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to the situation where from my ex, you probably seen some type of behavior from him, and then next thing you know what I'm saying, even though you're not doing that behavior, it may look familiar to her, and she gonna beat you down about it. And then that's going back and forth and backwards, and that's always a problem. Nagging a man, it may be the worst thing of all you can do to a man. It's nag a man. All right, let's see. Do we have? I got one more. Let's see. I got one more here. Hold on one second, peoples. Let's see. Make sure I got them all. And I think I do. Okay. No, here we go. Only cares about herself and what she wants. Some women only focus on what they can get out of a guy to make their life better. Yeah. Some women only dating out here to make their life better. They're not trying to give anything, you know what I'm saying, trying to round you off. They just know what they want. They set the boundaries around what they want, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then make you fulfill the obligations and so forth. And like I said, those selfish women that only care about their needs and what they're willing not to do and to do is a problem. All right, next thing. All right, cool. We're gonna switch gears at this point. Now, what's the good things? Like I said, I told you we gonna hit the good things about, you know what I'm saying, about what women bring dating over 35. Let's see, social and mentally mature. Like I said, at a certain level, hopefully, that, you know what I'm saying, you get you a very socially and mentally mature woman that, you know what I'm saying, that that knows that, not to, you know what I'm saying, swipe as hard as you can at a man in an argument, you know what I'm saying, as far as words and tones, and being able to, you know what I'm saying, hold the conversation and so forth, and not act like a 3-year-old. know what I'm saying? Knowing that, hey, situations arise, you know what I'm saying? Tough times come, you know what I'm saying? And know that it's not always going to be sunny, you know what I'm saying? We can't always, you know what I'm saying, go to the fancies or the fanciest spots and so forth. And just know overall that life happens and being able to understand that. Next thing, let's see, stable. As a woman, some women as they get older, just like a man, you know what I'm saying, stabilize their income, stabilize their household, stabilize their mental, stabilize, you know what I'm saying, in the relationship. And that stability can be priceless. All right, next thing, let's see. Want love. Want to make love, spend time, and be affectionate. You know what I'm saying? As you get older, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They want to be affectionate with you. You know what I'm saying? As some of the young girls maybe more standoffish and so forth and that. And as the woman gets older, you know what I'm saying? She wants love and go with you with a more lovingly hand instead of a more direct hand. You know what I'm saying? Some women could be too rough at some point, but you know what I'm saying, as they get older and understand, you know what I'm saying, how things work and how men work and so forth, going with it with a lovingly hand is always a good thing. All right, next thing, independent. Some women are independent and got houses and cars and goals. Yeah. So like I said, that independence work. And at that point where, you know what I'm saying, it's not overly bearing, you know what I'm saying, she's independent, she's got her own lifestyle and so forth, and she knows how to interact with a man in that aspect, and, you know what I'm saying, be able to, you know what I'm saying, come together, you know what I'm saying, bring her independence as a tool in a relationship, not necessarily independent as you know what I'm saying, hammer wielding and so forth. So like I said, a woman with a bit of independence and controlling her own world and so forth and supporting her own lifestyle is a beautiful thing. Next thing, some women are wise with money and procedures. So, like I said, a woman that, you know what I'm saying, that know that, okay, as you're young, you know what I'm saying, you might, you know what I'm saying, got that extra heavy spending bug. Sometimes, even in the older, you know, sometimes that extra, want to spend extra, that lasts forever to some people. But some women, you know what I'm saying, realize that the value of money, the value of time, the value of, you know what I'm saying, and the value of energy to get stuff. So, like I said, some women are wise spenders. Because, like I said, some women have, you know what I'm saying, might be single mothers and have to make things work with what they got. And so they've been able to, you know what I'm saying, spend at a certain level. And then that spending muscle of being able to budget and so forth is a great tool to have on your corner. All right, next thing. Open minded, trustworthy, loyal, and honest. That's it. You know what I'm saying? As you get older, you know what I'm saying, you understand that, you know what I'm saying, that everything isn't, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote black and white, ones and zeros and so forth. And there's a lot of you know what I'm saying, a lot of things change and so forth. A lot of, you know what I'm saying, what you were taught at, you know what I'm saying, growing up might not always be right, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there's other ways and procedures to go about stuff. And so, you know what I'm saying, being able to grow and realize that, hey, I need to be open minded to this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Your partner might want X, Y, Z, and before you might be like, oh, strict, I can't do it. And then as you go forward, you might, hey, you know what I'm saying? See it in another way. And then as far as trustworthy wise, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, loyal, it's like at some point, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to be on the scene all the time. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, at a certain age. Now, I'm granted, there's plenty of old women in the club that trying to compete with the young girls. But then there's a lot of people that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of women that's not. You know what I'm saying, they just pretty much want to, you know what I'm saying, be cool, hang out, you know what I'm saying. And you can trust her with everything. You can trust her with your money. You can trust her, you know what I'm saying, to go out, represent you, and so forth, and be loyal too. All right, next thing. Seek peace and not drama. Whew. That is, you know what I'm saying, as you get older, you know what I'm saying, some women love the drama, you know, love the action early in age and so forth, because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of that stuff's exciting. But as you get older, you know what I'm saying, that peace of mind, peace, and just in your life, that right there is priceless. And then as you get older, you realize peace is so much more better than drama. All right, let's see. Got a couple more here for the good things. So know how to follow a man that can lead. Like I said, some women are so independent they want, you know what I'm saying, they can't be told anything. But like I said, you get one, you get them when they're older, and they know that hey, a good man, you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying, a good man take you far and so forth, that can lead you over here into the like say what I said, quote unquote, the promised land and so forth to building, you know what I'm saying, the type of lifestyle you want. You know what I'm saying? That level of trust in a man and so forth to be able to put that, put that guard down of I gotta do it myself, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get my own needs met. You know what I'm saying? That important is key and so forth. And let's see, last one here. Last one. We're gonna say see, some women will support a man's dreams, goal, and aspirations. Yeah. You get, you know what I'm saying? When you get a woman that'll pour into you, man, a woman that'll pour into your dreams, goals, and aspiration, and she looks at, you know what I'm saying, how, you know what I'm saying, she sees that, okay, you got something in you, you know what I'm saying that, okay, bet, you know what I'm saying, see that you trying to do something, and then she do everything she can to help you, and so forth. That's a level of maturity to say, hey, I'm gonna pour into his dreams. You know what I'm saying? His aspirations, creativity, and so forth. Say that hey, you're looking for a career change, and hey, you need, you know what I'm saying, you need the support. You know what I'm saying, to get whatever lessons you need, to tool sets you need, skill sets you need to go into that new thing. Or if you want to create a new business, that support. You know what I'm saying, and that cheerleader you need. You know what I'm saying, to keep you focused on the hard times. That right there is a woman you need on your side. Finding that woman that will champion you while you going through your ideas is priceless. And with that said, y'all, this has been Bar Talk. Like, subscribe, comment, and we will see you later. Peace.